it's Lux, and I'm joined with Brendon from Panic
Hi.
at the
Hey.
Disco.
What's up?
How's it going?
So good. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Can you remember the last time you were in St. Louis?
Oh God.
Bigger
Must have
tour.
been 2 years ago.
Yeah, big
big
venues.
guy. I think it was the Blink-182 tour, right?
Yeah, absolutely, at the Verizon Wireless Amphitheater.
Oh yeah.
All I remember from that day is that it was like the devil hot. It was like
Yeah, it
surface
was
of the
steamy.
sun hot.
It's pretty steamy.
I always feel so bad for anyone who's on stage and like the sun is blaring them in the face and it's just like molten sweat.
You get the lights, you get the sun, you
Too
get it
much.
all. Yeah.
Well, today you got a sold-out show over at the Firebird,
We do.
much smaller,
Much smaller.
more intimate.
Very intimate, very sweaty, just as hot, I think.
We're all gonna get real
It's gonna
close
be
to each
so
other.
good, so sticky.
So, do you prefer a small, intimate setting or a large venue setting?
I like them both. Yeah, they're both very different. I mean, like you said, it's very intimate. It's kind of nice to, especially going from here. In September, we're going to be playing arenas. So now, playing these smaller shows, it's really nice to be face-to-face. It's just like a different energy in the room,
Yeah. After this, you guys head out on the Save Rock and Roll tour with Fall Out Boy.
Yes, we do.
That's a bold statement for a tour name.
Yeah, Pete's kind of making a bold statement there. Yeah,
I don't think he does anything on the down. Everything for him is on the big
It's always
screen.
up and up. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Speaking of bold statements, I love the album title. New
Oh,
album.
thank you.
It's not dropping until October, so we're all
That's right.
patiently picking our noses. Too weird to live, too rare to die.
Yeah, we pulled that from Hunter S.
Hunter S.
Thompson.
Thompson. Yeah.
Totally.
Did you have to pay royalties?
What an
Am I
icon.
going to have to pay for mentioning it?
I think we're paying as a state. Yeah, something. I don't know.
Totally
But,
worth
yeah.
it, though. What a
No,
great title.
Totally worth it.
And I think
Totally.
it probably sums up everything
It
for you guys,
definitely
right?
does. It's just kind of like I always felt this album when we finished it was just a character album. It's very much a character, and that was describing the character perfectly. Exactly how it was.
Well, right now, I saw this on your website, and I thought I should let everybody know that you can pre-order it.
Yes.
So those of you who are busy picking your noses, as I said, you can pre-order it for $7.99 right now for a short time only, though. But if you wait too long,
That's right. Do not
you're going to
wait.
have to pay
do it.
more.
It just happened yesterday, so do it.
It's like a
'cause
big deal.
It's not going to last.
That I don't know that I can get an album at $7.99 on iTunes right now. It's like $13, or depending on how many songs
Right.
are on it, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So
Yeah.
this is kind of an amazing deal that you guys have hooked up for your
Yeah,
fans.
we're doing it. Yeah, they hook us up so much.
Oh,
It's
that's
awesome.
so nice of you guys. So what was the inspiration behind the new album? Where were you guys, the jumping off point?
Yeah, actually, I mean, there were a lot of things. From song to song, the themes were different, but overall, I think kind of the tie-in was I kept going back to Vegas, where we grew up, and we had a different take. When we did our first record, we were pretty bitter, 17-year-old teenagers, kind of mad that we couldn't participate in all the fun of the town. So
I can only imagine living in Vegas under the
All the
age of 21, just
debauchery.
being like, the worst.
Oh, it was torturous. But being able to go back and revisit all that stuff and see it in a new light just kind of was an inspiration and influence for this record, for sure.
I just went to Vegas for my very first time
Did
this
you like it?
spring. Yes, I
Good.
went over Memorial Day, and I had an absolute blast. And now I know why people go there all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But is your family still based there? Are you still kind of based there?
Yeah,
Are you
pretty
moving
much
around?
all my family lives in Vegas, so it is nice, to have family there. But also, me and my wife like to just go and have 3 days to ourselves and just experience all the good debaucherous fun.
Well, I love that you brought your wife with you today.
I did,
It's
yeah.
funny. I was going to ask you about this, actually. One of my videographers here tells me you have quite the vine.
Ah,
So I went online. I had to do some research, and I went online, and your fans, super dedicated, have
Yes.
made Vine compilations. There's like a 10-minute long compilation
Oh.
of all your Vines, and she
Yeah.
shows up and beers you. What a great gal you
my
got.
wife is great. She beers me all the time.
Absolutely.
She's amazing.
You said beer me, and she hands it to you, and then you said marriage.
Yep, that's the perks of marriage.
I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that. But I want to be the one saying, beer me. Like,
Yeah.
my dude brings the
It
beer.
does go
What a
both
great-
ways. Bear me. Yeah.
So speaking of social media, I found
Yeah.
you guys as a college kid on MySpace.
Oh,
Kind of
yeah.
MySpace kind of came into its own between 2005 and 2007, and,
Yeah.
and your first album came out around the same time.
Yeah.
So you've been using the social media to connect with your fans for a long time. How do you
Oh,
feel
yeah.
things have changed since then? I mean, now
it's
MySpace, or is it Facebook, is
Oh,
it
yeah.
Twitter, Instagram, Vine?
It's grown drastically, but yeah, like you were saying, I mean, there's so many different outlets. It's cool to figure out different ways of using it. I mean, really, it's just another way of venting, creatively without having to just do music. You can do a 6-second loop on Vine, or you can, reach out and personally, reach out to your fans. It's kind of nice. You can, if somebody wants to ask you a question, it's right there, right at your fingertips. You can just say, hey.
It's so funny. I've always thought that as a fan, it's nice to know how my artist wrote the album or how the recording process was, and all of the questions that I've seen in all of the YouTube videos of your interviews over the last couple months. But it's kind of cooler just to see you bounce around your house, playing with your pups, hanging with your wife. And that, I think that definitely connects fans in a different way.
Yeah, I
and I'm
agree.
sure you can elaborate that's definitely part of the connection.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And it's kind of, I think it's cool too, like, you know, being a fan of other people on Vine, seeing them, you know, you see what they do. Like comedians, you watch their stand-up, but then you see how a joke was created by watching their Vines. It's like some inside joke with their dog that becomes a bit that they do on stage. It's kind of awesome. So, yeah, I mean, that actually a lot of the musical Vines I did ended up like starting an idea for the record. So it just worked out that way. It was kind of nice.
Well, now that I know that you're famous in the Vine, do you Instagram as well? And how do you feel about them having video now?
I do. It's nice. Instagram, it's great. You know, like the pictures was always good. Now that they have video, it's different. It doesn't loop, you know, so I can't really do the musical loop thing, but it's different. It's kind of nice. You can do a little bit longer of a skit, you know. When you can't always fit a comedic bit, you know, a setup and a punchline in 6 seconds, you got the 15 seconds to fill up, so it's kind of nice.
There's an actual YouTube user. And is it Urie?
Yeah.
Okay, Brendon Urie Vines. But it's not actually you. It's somebody else who's created.
I did not make that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, I guess 12 of them because 2 of them are your wife's Vines in compilations. She's just as famous as you are, too.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever this is.
Vine famous, yeah.
It's kind of brilliant. So we enjoyed that in the interim.
Thanks whoever made that, by the way.
Have you ever thought of putting these together as a music video? I mean,
that's not a bad idea.
I wanted to talk to you about Miss Jackson because I love the video for it, and I think. How did you get together with Lolo on that?
I met her just this year, like back in January, and I'd heard a couple songs that she had, you know, before they went out on the internet, and she just had this very unique voice, and I was just totally drawn to it completely. She's such a sweetheart too that when we were thinking of sampling a song, she wrote this part, and that was all her in the beginning. We're like, oh, great, now we're just going to sample your song, and she was so into it. It was like the coolest collaboration ever.
Well, it's awesome. And how was the video? You guys always have such creative and kind of out there videos, and they're always fun. And
the video
never super serious.
Yeah, they get a little crazy sometimes. Yeah, this one was actually the director Jordan Bahat came up with this concept, and we didn't really have a kicker for the end. We're like, oh, this is kind of cool, you know, being, you know, in the desert and all this stuff is happening, smoke monster and whatnot. But then we're like, we kind of need a kicker. And then he came back not like a minute later with an email just like, what if we cut her head off? I'm like, yep, that's it.
Brilliant.
We're decapitating. Boom, that's it.
Done. Signed, sealed,
Kind of go
delivered.
boom, that's it, yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm going to take total credit if your next video is just Vines. You should do them mainly of your wife's Vines,
credit.
though.
That is perfect.
I think hers might be more entertaining.
This is a compilation of Milady.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm so sad to tell everybody that the tickets are gone. This is already sold out. But what is not sold out just yet, anyway, is the new album. You can pre-order it. It's called Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die. Yes. And you get it for a special price for a short time only. So literally go online, panicatthedisco.com. I said that right? Okay, good. And pre-order it. You can also pre-order through iTunes as well, so that you don't miss out or that you have to pay extra. I'd like to save you a couple bucks if possible.
Please.
I think that's the artist's perspective on this as well.
Very much so.
Well, just before you get out of here, I just want to ask you, how was Pappy's?
Oh my God, so good. It's still sitting here. We just got back from it like 20 minutes ago, so it's still heading down my esophagus right now.
It's literally
it's
sitting
like
between
at the top of my neck. Yeah, it was phenomenal. Seriously, a big shout out to Pappy's. That was so good. I can't talk it up enough.
I couldn't get out of here without asking you. If you went to Pappy's, I mean, and that's a lot of artists do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was
crazy.
Official
like endorsement.
The line was out the door. And we were actually walking out because we didn't think we were going to get in. And then Pappy came out and said, hey, why don't we just sit you down right now? Like, well, we got 20 minutes. He's like, yep, we'll stuff it down your throats. All right, cool. And he did. Sure enough. Beautiful
Pappy
man.
is a good man.
Good
His
man.
barbecue is delicious. And it has the official endorsement of Panic at the Disco.
For sure.
All right, well, we'll see you tonight at the show. Again, you can pre-order the album on iTunes. We leave you with a guilty pleasure of mine. Not guilty. I know all the words, so I'm not embarrassed to say I know all the words from this entire album.
Shameless.
But this is I Write Signs. I Write Sins, not tragedies.
Awesome.
Get me out of here. Thanks, Brendon.
Oh, well, imagine as I'm pacing the pew.